Doing all right.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing?
Doing all right.
This is awesome. This is awesome. I'm excited. This is awesome. This is awesome. So I am a antagonizer, so I'll tell you that much first and foremost. I'm a loudmouth. I like to what I do is I'm a content creator. I actually co-host a show called The Fan Zone with myself, and he goes by different names, but I'll just name him Manny right now. But he goes by a couple of different names. What we really do with the Fan Zone is it's the fan perspective, right? We want the raw emotion of the fans. We want to be able to have fans tell us about their best experiences, their greatest experiences, and we talk all sports, right? I'm a avid hockey fan, baseball fan, football fan, and I'm a little heavy set, so I never really played, but that's why I watched it so much. Absolutely. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I saw the news today. I didn't really get to look too much into it because I was in class, but I could pull it up right now just to give like a read through of it. Yeah. Kyle Davidson.
I have to tell you, the Blackhawks organization is a very interesting one because yeah, that's why it's interesting to me because they've had some great years and you were like, wow, this is a phenomenal franchise. And then obviously, earlier this year you had the whole controversy with the whole incidents behind
Yeah.
the scenes. And then you had, the team is just it's very old, right? Most of those players are old, and I feel like they need to blow up that team and start young, and maybe they have a shot to go back to their dynasty that they used to have.
Give me 1 second. Okay.
Yeah, so Kyle Davidson, it looks like he was named the interim when Stan Bowman stepped down after, like we said, the incident. So it looks like they promoted him to full time now.
Okay. Yeah, apparently my audio was out, but whatever. I figured it out. So we're good now.
Got it?
Let's see. Yeah, but basically, yeah, I'm kind of concerned with the whole Chicago Blackhawks franchise. Honestly, I don't see them going anywhere. With in the playoffs at least. Like they didn't back in 2016. They literally made the Cup final and rigged it and won. So that's a very controversial topic, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think they got like some of the right pieces. Like obviously Patrick Kane's still Patrick Kane. Like that's not going to change anytime soon.
Yeah, of course.
But it seems like Jonathan Tays may be on a decline. I think they got some nice young pieces like Kirby Doc if he could get the whole injury thing sorted out. It seems
Alex
like he gets hurt a lot.
Mhm.
Even Alex DeBrincat, he's such a good piece. Even he represented the Blackhawks in the All-Star game, which was a great way to show off the Blackhawks' pride.
Yeah, and I think like other things like the Seth Jones trade, I don't think that's working out just as Chicago hoped.
I
Marc-Andre
hate
Fleury,
that he was there. Even Marc-Andre
Yeah.
Fleury, I don't even like that he's there either.
that trade didn't work out for them. I mean, they really gave up nothing for him, but it just hasn't worked out the way they planned on it.
Yeah, Mike, you got any thoughts on
That
Marc-Andre Fleury?
Marc-Andre Fleury trade is a laugher because he didn't even want to be there. He was ready to just hang up his skates and retire. And he was at the last minute. He's like, you know what? I'll start playing. And he hasn't even been that good. Like he's been okay. He hasn't been the way he was. I actually thought some of his best years were with the Golden Knights. I thought
Definitely.
Yeah, I
thought
could say
he was
that.
great, great play. I mean, obviously, we always saw in the playoffs he showed up for most games for the Penguins. But I thought he was done with moving on. I thought he was going to stay with the Golden Knights, and they surprised us with that move.
Yeah. That was that. I honestly I feel like he did do it very well with the Vegas Golden Knights, but his prime years were definitely with Pittsburgh, which we talked about last week.
This year, didn't he start the year with 6 straight losses? It was something crazy like
Something
that.
like that,
He was
yeah.
winless for a while.
He was terrible. Yeah, he was terrible. I thought they were going to try to trade him again, but they put so many pieces into getting him. I was like, all right, they're not going to move on from him, but he wasn't doing well at all.
I think after this year, Marc-Andre Fleury retires and hangs up the skates and calls it quits.
Yeah, I could see that.
I could see that happening.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, guys, you guys know about the whole Russia-Ukraine thing. I don't know if you guys want to, dive into it, but the NHL made a statement earlier this morning. I think it was either this morning or yesterday that they're cutting ties with the Russian business partners. So now there is no future events like Winter Classics, All-Star games. None of that stuff is going to be in Russia anymore. So I don't know how I feel about it, but I don't know.
I mean,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, they jumped in and said that they weren't going to have, as you said, any type of NHL or any hockey broadcast through any of the outlets, any of the Russian outlets. I forget the names of the actual outlets. They named them, but they also said that they were cutting all ties. They weren't allowing any type of play. But then at the end, they did say that they were going to protect the players that were on specific teams that are from Russian descent. And I was okay with. I think we're going a little too far. This is, yes, there's tragedy going on between Russia and Ukraine. I don't know if Russia really is just sitting there watching hockey right now during all
Yeah.
right? I don't know if I felt like that was a little too extreme. I'm more concerned at how our players here, Russian-born players, are going to be treated, right? In an American sport, the Alexander Ovechkins, his extended family, as Ryan had mentioned to me earlier, is in Russia still. His immediate family, I believe, is still here. But, my heart goes out to him because he's not on the front lines. He's not following suit. What his views are, I don't know. But there's players like that. You gotta hope everything is okay with them, and then you also want to wonder is it going to affect their play, right? If we're talking as a fan and we're watching the sport, all this stuff going on at home in a different country, they're more glued to the TV, or they really focused on playing. All this stuff going on at home, he's an outlier because he's just one of the best hockey players I've ever seen. He is better than Crosby. I don't care who wants to.
Okay, hold on. That's okay. That's no.
The best hockey player in our lifetime.
You think Ovi is the best hockey player in our time?
Yes, he is better than Crosby.
I don't believe it.
Crosby is too injury prone.
Where's McDavid? Where's McDavid on the list?
McDavid's too early. It's too early.
Yeah,
he's 27.
I agree with that. It's too early.
He's 27.
You can't say that yet. McDavid's too early. Ovechkin, Crosby is one concussion away from being Eric Lindros. And I hate to say that, but it's true.
My God.
Crosby won some cups, though.
Yeah.
Listen, he is the only thing I can say.
Won some cups,
if we're looking at championships, that's where Crosby has over Ovechkin. But anything else, the playing style, the speed, the trajectory of shots, and the way he shoots, Ovechkin wins every time.
Okay. All right, that's fair enough.
Look at the stats. I'm telling you. Our lifetime. He is the best player we have ever seen.
That's insane. Okay. You know what? Fine. I'll give it to you. I'll give that to you. I
appreciate it. I'm not the only one who did it. I'm telling you. You can't give it to McDavid yet. McDavid puts up numbers like this for another 5 years, he's in the conversation. But you can't put him in this type of league, this elite league, when you have a Crosby and you have an Ovechkin that have been doing it year after year for how many, 12 plus years?
Yeah.
David, 5 years? You can't put him in there.
All right.
That's fair. I agree with that.
Okay, that's fair.
He is the future. I'll tell you that. He's absolutely the future.
I think him and Connor Bedard, that prospect for 2023. I think what is he 2023 or 2024?
I think it's 2024.
Is he 24? 23, I
What
think.
year are we in?
We're at 22. So I think he's 2023. But I think Bedard and McDavid are the future.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know where he's going to get drafted to. I could see him going to the Islanders or the Canadiens. If he was to the Islanders,
you don't take our boy Kako, and you don't take the guy Hughes from the Devils.
I mean,
the future.
I like him, but I don't think Kako has the potential yet. He's still growing as a player.
So I know it's your show, but can I ask you why?
Go ahead.
Ask you why.
Well, here's the thing. Like, last year he didn't put up those many numbers, but then again the Rangers were really bad. So I would have to wait like another 2 years to be like, okay, this kid's got some potential.
So I'm going to disagree with you a little, and this is why. I think with a player like Kako, he had terrible coaching.
Yeah, David Quinn was pretty bad.
Yeah, he came in, had terrible coaching, and then the line shifts that they put him on did not give him the opportunity to grow.
They put him on the third and the fourth. Not even on the penalty kill either. They put him on the fourth with Brendan Lemieux and I think Colin Blackwell.
You put him on a line with Z and even with a Panarin as a young kid like that, I think he grows a lot quicker. I think he's able to produce a lot quicker.
Because they experimented that with Lafreniere the other night. I think they did that with against not the Penguins. Who did they play the night before that? I don't know, but
Vancouver.
Maybe. Oh yeah, it was. No, I think that was after.
Vancouver was the other night. I think
that was the other night.
Vancouver was the one we lost, and then
I'm thinking before Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
who they play before? I don't know, but
I'll look it up for you.
Yeah, but like I know, like he put like 3 points up, 2-3 points, because they put him on a line with Zibanejad, and Kreider, like that's what Gerard Gallant was like.
Capitals.
Yeah, it was Cap. Oh, that was fun. I was at work watching that game. I was berserk. It was a good game. It was so funny.
That was a good game.
Yeah. Joey, did you want to dive into your topics? I know you had a few that you mentioned to me earlier.
Yeah, I want to go back to that Russia thing, and I think the funny thing is, I don't know if it's still going on, but I think the KHL playoffs were actually scheduled to start today. So I think that's pretty ironic, actually. I mean, obviously, there's not going to be any attention towards that with what's going on.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you guys, did either of you guys see what Dominic Hasek had to say?
I didn't see anything, no.
Oh.
So this is a quote that he posted on Twitter.
Of course.
I don't know how many pucks he took to the head in his playing career, but this is pretty bad. He says, the NHL must immediately suspend contracts for all Russian players. Every athlete represents not only himself and his club, but also his country and its values and actions. This is a fact. If the NHL does not do so, it has an indirect co-responsibility for the dead in Ukraine.
What?
Yeah,
that's terrible.
I don't think Ovechkin's in Putin's office telling him to invade Ukraine, you know?
Oh, okay. Okay. That's all right. Yeah, but I think Dominic Hasek has a stick up his ass. All right.
I think that is
bogus.
That is one of the most illiterate political.
That is so bad. Oh god.
I couldn't believe it when I saw it.
Maybe that helmet wasn't for good use after all.
He did have a really weird helmet when he played. So
he had a player helmet. Wasn't
it tiny? It was very tiny. It was very sleek.
It was a big bucket with a cage on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had like the worst version of Chris Osgood's mask.
It's not as bad as Bernie Perrant, where he had like the Jason mask.
Yeah.
It's funny though because we go other sports for a second, and it's like what we're saying with like the Colin Kaepernick, right? Kneeling with the American flag. You know, he never gets another job in the NFL. This is like what Dominic Hasek is trying to say, that just because you were born in Russia, you should not have a livelihood anymore or a job, and goodbye to you, which is outlandish because most of these people speak better English than Russian at this point because of how long they've been in the league, you know, and they've not been, how many years has it been now since the NHL has been in the Olympics? The NHL players?
I think I want to say 84 or 88.
Right. So I mean,
yeah, something like that.
So it's been that many years that they're not even representing their country, right? So I don't understand where you would come with that, where they came to an American sport for a reason. Why would you fault them because of where they were born?
Yeah.
It's such
it's not like they had control over that.
Right, exactly. It's terrible. Terrible.
That's bogus.
Yeah,
Like,
and to add on
straight
to that,
bugging.
Great brother. There you go.
To add on to that, the IIHF for now, temporarily until all this gets resolved, bans Russia and Belarus from their competitions for now.
That's
the
bullshit.
2023 World Juniors were supposed to be in Russia. Those were moved out. I mean, like, you look at the World Juniors, these are like 18, 19-year-old kids. They have like no idea what's going on, and now they can't play the sport they love.
Now that I think about it, it's like, what about all these Russian prospects? Like, all of their prospects just went down right after this happened. And
There's some big ones too.
Yeah, like
that can't play in the World Juniors now, like the biggest showcase for their skills.
They can't play in the World Juniors. They can't show off their skills. What the fuck what are you doing now?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. The NHL makes me kind of mad sometimes.
Yeah, like you look at Matvey Michkov, the guy who's supposed to go after Bedard. That guy is unbelievable. Yaroslav Askarov, the Nashville Predators goalie prospect. You could honestly make an argument that he could be one of the best, if not the best goalie in like 5 years after he's in the league.
Yeah.
But he's that good. And now like North Americans like us can't even like we're not watching KHL hockey.
Like even if that, like Igor Shesterkin, he's from Russia. He's one of the best goalies right now. I think he's number one. Sorry to everybody Islander fans and whoever who cares about bogus stats. Igor Shesterkin is the best. He's the best. What Joey
was saying with the IHL and everything, that's where a lot of these teams find their prospects, right? They go to these different, let's call it for what it is, competitions, but they're more of like a showcase to show the talent of these players, especially at 18 and 19. These kids aren't going to college. These kids are looking to.
They're going to go pro. They're me and Joey's age. They're me and Joey's age. Like, we're 18 and 19, and we're like,
which is insane.
Shit.
Yeah, and they're good. They're good. This is their whole thing. In certain countries, you either are working in a mine or you're on the ice. For the prospective sport, and that's what they did most of their life, and now they're trying to show that, and now we're not even going to be able to see that.
Yeah, and I think even this goes back to like the Soviet Union days. Like you look at guys like Slava Fetisov, Sergei Fedorov. Those guys were scouted from like the Olympics and World Juniors. That's how these guys made the jump.
Yeah, it's just sad how all of these prospects now have a dip in their ratings due to the whole thing, and it's just I don't know. Someone's at my door. I think it's UPS. my stupid Alexa went off, but whatever. Yeah, it's just sad how like now players like Ovi, even Pavel Datsyuk. I know he's trying to make a comeback as well.
This is a Datsyuk jersey.
Yeah, see, I love my Datsyuk jerseys. I wish I had one. I would totally have one in the closet if it was like 2014, 2013. So.
Yeah, and I think even like to add on to that, if you look at a guy like Artemi Panarin after what happened last year, he's probably not even going to be able to go back to Russia for like the rest of his life now. Yeah, at least until Putin's alive, or as long as he's alive.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's going to affect more than we know. It's the NHL obviously is the biggest international player organization in the sense of the players that are in different teams, but we're going to start seeing it in different sports as well.
Yeah, I know the NBA wants to try to start bringing more of the world to the NBA as well.
Oh, they're not going to be looking to Russia now.
Nope.
For sure.
Oh, yeah. Let's move on to the topic. I know people are not going to like it, but Joey, did you want to add on anything? Any other topics you wanted to adjust before we head into Titanium Tuesday?
We could add into that. I can't think of anything off the top of my head now.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, folks of Chirp and Chat, it's time for Titanium Tuesday, as if Gianni was here, the bogus stats of the week, because he hates talking about this. But Number 1 is 39-10-4, as we know, Colorado Avalanche. We got any thoughts on those? I know, Joey, you have your opinions on them, but I want to hear Mike's perspective.
They're a good team. I think they're going to make some noise. I think they're actually one of my top picks for possible at least Western Conference, if not going to the Stanley Cup.
Now, I'm going to use your what if factor because this is where it comes into play.
Colorado
Avalanche, Stanley Cup champions. Yes, no, you're bogus, or you're straight bugging.
I'm just going to say no. Yes.
Really? Oh, wow. You're straight bugging.
I'm just going to say no. I think they, Kadri's had a great year. They still have that young core, but I don't think that they have enough to sustain during the playoffs. I feel like they're 1 or 2 injuries off from just being a regular team. So they're being a little lights out right now.
Yeah, well, the whole Nathan McKinnon thing, he never got suspended.
I couldn't believe that.
Literally, the day, I think not even 30 minutes after we went offline last week, it came out with this statement. I was like, you gotta be joking. I was like,
we wasted like half that podcast talking about a suspension that wasn't going to happen.
God, it was so bad. I mean, last week we were on a rush. I was at the college. I was on campus doing the basketball game, so I was like, I gotta go. So it was so funny. And I saw it 30 minutes later. I'm like, I'm getting ready for the game, and I see Nathan McKinnon not gonna get suspended. I'm like, okay, well, there goes 30 minutes of our show.
Yeah, I think the thing with Colorado is if they could get over that second round hump they've been stuck at for the past few years, I think they can win the cup. But they got to get like we look at what happened with Washington, like they just couldn't get past the Penguins. They got past them that one year and they won the cup.
Yeah. Yeah,
I say no for right now. Listen, I'll tell you, my livelihood, I've always been a Avalanche fan. I was actually a Quebec Nordiques fan with
respect. That's the respect. I give you that.
Patrick Waugh, those were my top 3 growing up. And then, obviously watching the Rangers with the Mike Richter, the Adam Graves, the Brian Leaches.
Talking some oldies, some legends.
Listen, that's what I grew up with.
I saw those guys at the banner night for Henrik Lundqvist, and I couldn't believe it. I've
actually had dinner with all of them. I've actually had.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, I've had numerous.
That's unbelievable.
With Adam Graves, because there's a lot of like Toys for Tots that they used to do in my old neighborhood. I grew up in Manhattan, and so like different bars would like sponsor it, and you bring a couple of toys and you get an autograph, get to sit with them, get to hang out. So, and then one night I was hanging out at my local pub, and who's standing right next to me? Mike Richter. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, so,
that's crazy.
So that's when I have to say, like, I was always an Avalanche fan. I got to celebrate. That was the first championship I ever saw. Was when the Colorado Avalanche.
Was it 95?
95.
Yeah.
Where they were able to hoist the cup. I wasn't even a Ranger fan in 94 when they won the cup. I was an Avalanche fan. I got champagne poured all over me. It was the greatest feeling alive. But yeah, I think they'll be okay. Like you said, Joey, I like your analysis. I think if they can get over that second round hump, I think maybe they do. But I'm still going to say no for now.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah, so the next one, Carolina Hurricanes, 37-11-4. But they're actually pretty far behind. They have 78 points when Colorado has 82. I just don't know. Do you guys think that Carolina will push for the number 1 spot in the league?
One thing I will say, historically, last year was the first time it happened. Every single year Carolina was in the playoffs, they went to at least the conference finals.
Okay.
I thought they were supposed to lose to the Rangers. Look what happened.
Yeah, well, we got Alexi Lafreniere, so I wasn't complaining after that.
No, you're right. Do I think they go for the number 1 spot?
Could they jump the Colorado Avalanche?
Like I said, if there's the Avalanche are 1 or 2 injuries off from being an okay team, so I think they have a shot if that 1 or 2 injuries. I'm not wishing that. Please understand that. I would never wish any injuries on anybody, but I'm just saying, in the game of hockey, it's all about attrition, and if they can stand the history of time, the Avalanche stay with that number 1 spot.
Yeah, what do you think about the whole Michigan move from Andrei Svechnikov, where he pretty much set it for everybody?
What do you mean?
Like how he was the first one to do the Michigan in the NHL. He was you don't really see that. You didn't really see that back then. Like,
I wonder how many more players are going to try it.
well, Trevor Zegras did it, right? He did the batting goal. Svechnikov did it. I think Kaprizov did it.
I like the fact
he never
that
scored on it. The goals were Svechnikov, Philip Forsberg, and then Trevor Zegras.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like the fact that the refs aren't calling like a high sticking or anything like that, or anything.
I feel like that would be the biggest letdown if one of those gets reviewed for a high stick.
I think
it's close. It's close. The way they carry it, it's kind of close.
Yeah, it looks like it goes like almost right above the shoulder too.
Yeah, it's a little borderline, but the way they're like, okay, it's good. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Was it this year that Kreider tried the Michigan?
Yes.
And came. Kreider tried. A lot of guys are trying it now. Hell, Oliver Wahlstrom almost pulled it off a few weeks ago. It's becoming a lot more mainstream.
I'm trying to figure out. I thought maybe Kreider tried to do it in a shootout game, actually.
I know he hit the post on one.
Yeah,
that was during a game. I don't remember.
There was a shootout, and he tried something like that, where it tried to a weird deke that's not Chris Kreider-esque.
Yeah. So we only have about 10 minutes left because Zoom is going to be annoying and run out. Florida Panthers, 35-13-5 at 75 points. I don't think they're going to go any further than number 4 on the league. I don't even think they're going to make it to the conference final. In the first couple months, they looked pretty solid. Now they're just no. I don't think they're going to make it past the second round.
Hot take, first round exit.
No, I agree with you on that. I think they'll get first round exit.
Yeah, they're known for blowing it in the playoffs. I think it might happen again.
But Alexander Barkov and Huberdeau have been pretty solid too.
You know why they're going to get knocked out in the first round? They don't got my guy Jaromir Jagr.
Facts. Facts. And they'll get bounced out by Florida probably.
That's right.
I'm sorry, Tampa. Whew.
And look what happened at the beginning of the season when they started to fall off a little bit. That's when Quenneville had to step down. Like they don't have that experience.
Oh yeah, I forgot they got rid of Quenneville. And now the team we're just talking about, Tampa Bay Lightning, 34-11-6 with 74 points. Okay, I'm bringing back what if. Stanley Cup odds. Tampa Bay Lightning goes a 3-peat. Yes, no, you're straight bugging.
You're straight bugging.
I say yes.
I think no.
I think every NHL fan counts them out every single year and says they're not going to do it again. They're not going to do it again. And they keep surprising us. If I'm a betting man, I can't bet against them at this point. I have to say yes.
That's hard to say, though. Only because I don't know if they can do another 3-peat. But, like, I'm thinking, like, you know.
What did they really lose? What did they really lose personnel-wise to be able to not?
They did lose, I think, their whole third line. That's definitely took a hit for them.
Yeah, and I know Gianni last week was saying, like, they might not be able to do it because they lost that whole third line with Barclay, Goudreau. I think who else did they lose? Filppula? Did they lose him to? No. I don't know.
Filppula was a Red Wing.
Oh
wait, Filppula, they lost him in like 2017. That was a while ago.
Oh, then I'm thinking something else. I'm thinking the first year.
So if they lost that third line, yeah, I don't want to bet against them because I'm always wrong with them. They're the one team I can never get right.
Personally, I would say second round exit, but like you said, I wouldn't bet against them either.
I wouldn't bet against them, but I think they'll make it to the conference finals.
Yeah, maybe not Stanley Cup. I think they get to the conference finals. I don't think they
That's fair. But who do they lose to in the conference finals? That's the big question.
I know Gianni was pushing for the Penguins.
Yeah, I don't know. See, even Mike agrees with me. He don't think the Penguins are going to go anywhere. They're not going to do anything.
No.
Listen, if Gianni's here, my mom was telling me, if Gianni was here, his vein would be popping out of his head.
No, the Penguins are cooked to a certain degree. They're okay. They're going to be in the playoffs, but I don't think they survive the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think this is my hot take, as Joey was saying. I'm going to say they're a second round exit.
Okay. All right. I think they'll make conference, but who knows?
Tampa Rangers in the Eastern Conference Final.
That's what I was actually going to point out. I was going to say, like, I think the Rangers in Tampa would be a nice Game 7.
And that is not a biased pick,
No,
Joey, I promise.
We're
It's
not biased
a
here.
pick of the
Actually,
Rangers fan.
maybe a little bit, but we're not totally
Only
biased.
a little, only a little.
Only a little, but not
Maybe a
too
little.
biased.
Everyone has their bias. It's fair.
Gianni's got his bias. And then number 5, we have 35-14-4 with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Playoff predictions?
Well, if we're
Nothing again. They're not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere.
I mean, if we take the score from the last outdoor games, where they were like, what was it, 7-5?
Something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
They beat Detroit 10-7. That was something.
Yeah, they put up numbers, but I just don't see them going far. They have that young talent. They're just not doing anything with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get past the second. I think they'll be. I mean, even a first round exit. Really, I don't think they're going to do much. John Tavares is kind of falling off the cliff a little bit. I think it's time for him to hang up the skates. He's getting a little too old for.
I don't understand him. He was
Listen,
so good
when
with
he
the
moved from
Islanders.
the Islanders, Joy, you're going to yell at me for this one, but when he moved from the Islanders, I was jumping up and down in joy because I was like, he's finally out. I don't want to listen to him and see him in the Metropolitan Division.
Honestly, I think he made the biggest mistake of his life. His
No,
team
he
became a
didn't.
joke after.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He didn't belong in the Islanders. Who are you kidding?
The Islanders took off, and then he left, and they still can't get past the first round.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, we don't talk about this season, but
Yeah. Well, yeah. You guys shouldn't be talking at all. You guys are all the way down in dead last.
yeah, we don't.
Dead last. No more.
We don't talk about it.
We don't.
I don't
We
know
play
what's going
Colorado
on.
tonight. It's not gonna be pretty.
You know what's funny is I had the Islanders as a cup potential at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I don't
Like-
get out. Like
No, I'm
there's the
serious.
door.
I'm serious. The way they were playing before they went into this new arena. I feel like the new arena is a jinx. Right?
Yeah,
I thought
no,
the
I think
arena
so
was
too.
going to be a good thing for them, but it turns out
I
no.
thought so too. Something happened. Something went off the wrong way, and they I don't get it. Them and the Devils, they're two teams that I don't know if it's upper management, but there is disarray somewhere that makes them look terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with the Islanders this season, at least, they started all right at the beginning of the season. Sorokin had some nice shutouts, but once COVID hit them, they were done for the rest of the year.
Well, yeah, weren't they shipping in players because they had like maybe 4 players to actually?
They had
play?
at least half of their minor league team up at one
Terrible.
point.
Yeah, I mean, and that killed you, and I hear you on that. But since then, when they've even gotten healthy, they just haven't been able to play well. They just
I
haven't
think
found that. Go ahead.
Not even just the Islanders, but I think like once people do like their predictions, once teams finally start to slide under the radar, make quiet runs, and then they finally start to get that respect, and then they just fall off, and that's what we saw here.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's pretty much it for Titanium Tuesday now. But I think we're gonna skip Player of the Week because Gianni usually finds that out for us, and we know how that went. Now, Mike, I know you're a Rangers fan, right?
I am.
All right. So, do you think JT Miller comes back? Yes, no, you're straight bugging.
That's a good one. That's a good one because you know what? I think we put JT Miller on this team, then we actually are even more of a cup contender.
I think even now we're a cup contender, honestly.
Yes,
you know?
but think about putting in a JT Miller.
But
The
where
only
do you
problem
put him
is
and
what
where do
he
you
did.
give up? That's
Yes,
the thing.
that-
What do you give up and where do you put him?
You're gonna have to give up.
That's
some-
true.
You're gonna have to give up some of your
Personally, I would give up a second line winger or a third line winger and Georgiev. Get Georgiev out of New York. I don't want him.
Can we just give Georgiev and give a couple of
Picks.
$100,000 and we'll take JT Miller? Like, is that possible?
They
Is that-
well,
is that
here's
fair?
the thing though. If Georgiev goes to Vancouver, he's going to be in the same position he's in now. He's going to be at the backup position, and he's going to get
I
no
don't
starts.
care about that. I just don't want him as my backup.
Well, that's fair enough too. I hate him with a burning passion. Get
Oh
him
my
out of
God.
New York. Get him
I
out
will
of
say
New York.
Georgiev's better this year than Halak is.
No, he's
Have
not.
seen
What are you
he's
talking
doing?
about?
Halak gave up 6 goals on 14 shots to the Devils the other night.
I don't
He has a
care.
save percentage of like .850.
Sure. So we get like 2-game winning streaks, 3-game winning streaks, and then we give a rest to Shesterkin, and then all of a sudden Grigoriev comes in, and we're on like a 4-game losing streak. It's terrible. It's terrible. You got to get rid of him.
God. Well, we have to end that here because the Zoom is going to end for some reason. I have to upgrade to the Pro. I don't know. So the next shows we got is tonight. Mike with the Fan Zone at 7 o'clock. Go watch that. Sports Mania at Wednesday at 4 o'clock or On the Court Wednesday at 7. AEW Injection following Diamond at 10. The B Show Thursday at 6. And Smoke and Mirrors Monday at 7. Loyal to the E. New show. Second episode Tuesday at 4. And we'll be back here at 5:30 next week for Chirp and Chat. Mike,
and I'm giving you guys an open invitation to come on the Fan Zone anytime you guys want. I would love to.
Sounds good to me.
Appreciate that, man. All right, you guys take it easy.